What's up, Guru Nation? Welcome back to the clinicaltrialsguru.com. I've got Adrian Flores here. He is, well, what are you? Study coordinator slash,
operations specialist, consultant.
Helps out with the consulting.
Clinical research professional.
He's do it all, right? Jack of all trades. So today's video comes from a question from a client, and you may or may not be able to answer, but feel free to chime in. Okay?
Oh yeah.
So this client wants to know, hey, I want to run just a generic, very generic ad on Facebook about my clinic, and I'm not going to advertise for any particular study. It's just going to be very generic, very universal to all the studies that this person has. Do you need IRB approval, right? And the answer is, there's two answers, right? The textbook answer is yes. If you ask any IRB, what do they tell you? When you ask an IRB, do we need approval for this? They're always going to say,
yeah, you need approval, you need his submissions, you need all this, this information. And
it's like if you were to ask an attorney, do I need a contract for this? Even if you don't need a contract for it, the attorney is going to say yes by default. Right? Same thing with the IRB. If you think that you need IRB approval for something and you ask them, they're going to tell you yes. Well, the fact of the matter is, the real world answer is, if you're not specifically recruiting for any study in particular, right? So if you're just branding yourself, right, marketing your own clinic, you don't need IRB approval for that, right? However, when you start getting specific as far as what studies you're recruiting for, usually the sponsor will give you an IRB approved script, and then they will approve that, right?
Yeah, for radio ads. Facebook ads too, they have to approve all that. But if you're doing it specifically for your site, then you don't really need an IRB approval, because not for a specific study. You can have the condition that the study is for on that advertisement, but you wouldn't need to get it IRB approved.
And when you do study startup,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
regulatory.
you deal with these approvals,
yeah.
IRB approvals, at the startup, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they always ask you for what? Radio
scripts. There's internet ads. There's
they have those now.
There's the website. Yeah. Actually, the website ad.
So the internet ads, are they for Google and Facebook, or they don't specify, it just says for internet?
It just says internet ad.
Okay.
Internet ad, it'll say like website ad. So it depends on which IRB you use. Some of them do say like Facebook ad, but most of the time it's just internet ad.
Now it's funny, because I had this question once for an IRB, and I wanted to go on a radio show to promote one of my clinics. Not promote a study, promote a clinic of mine that had a bunch of studies going on, right? So just to be on the safe side, I asked one of my IRBs for one of the studies because I wanted them to pay for it. So we're going to get into that next. I asked them, hey, do I need approval for this? I'm not getting study specific at all. And of course they said, yes, you do, because there's a number of reasons. They need to justify their reason for existence, sadly, but that is the case, and that's indicative of why there's a lot of waste in this industry, but also because they don't know any other answer, and to err on the side of caution, they're always going to tell you yes, right? So even something that is not specific to a study, and I went ahead and got it so that they can pay for the radio ad, but you actually don't need that, right? Now the catch is, if you want sponsor to reimburse you for your ads, the sponsor will always require IRB approval, right? Exactly. So that's the caveat. If you don't need IRB approval if it's not study specific, in my opinion. Again, check with an attorney. I'm not an attorney. But practically speaking, this is my practical advice to you, you don't. If it's study specific, you do, right? Now, if you want the sponsor to reimburse you, there's no way you can get that unless you get it approved, right?
Yep. You need the IRB approval.
Thank you very much, Adrian.
No problem.
Thank you everyone for watching. Dan from the clinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.